What's up guys, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in this video I'm going to explain to you how to effectively trade in Binance futures, or what we call that derivatives. So let me introduce to you what do we mean by derivative or futures or Binance futures. As you can see, I'm using Binance to trade. This is the platform I'm using. You can trade it on different platforms, even Bybit and OKX. If you want me to do tutorial on Bybit and OKX, drop the comments under the comment section. So now, what is the meaning of Binance futures? When we're talking of Binance futures, it is a form of derivative trading platform which is being offered by this Binance app, which is the #1 leading cryptocurrency exchanges. And Binance allows we traders, me and you, to speculate on the futures of price movement of cryptocurrency, whether you want to buy or sell into futures contracts. So that's the meaning of futures trading as it relates to crypto. So how do you now trade in crypto? For you to trade Binance futures or derivative, what you just have to do is you click on here that said futures. You click on futures. When you click on it, this is the interface you are going to see. Let me now take you all around this interface so you can know what each of them is working for. The first thing I should tell you guys is this that I'm touching on my place. As you can see, I'm having note USDT. This is telling me that this is the currency pair I want to be trading with, but this is crypto, right? So this is the crypto I want to be trading, which is note coin to USDT, and beside it we have PERP, which is perpetual. Let me now explain to you. If you click on this note USDT, there are different kind of assets that you can see. When you click on all, you will see all of different cryptocurrencies that you can trade, and all of them are present in here. And I say something about the PERP, which is the perpetual that I say here. The PERP means perpetual. So when I click on that note USDT, I can change it to anything. So if I now swipe down here to here, that we have delivery. So in this delivery, these particular assets that are being listed here, they have an expiry date. They are not perpetual, they are not forever. So, and beside it, this is BTC USDT, Bitcoin to USDT. This is telling you QTLY, which is quarterly 0626. This is telling you that by June, on the 20th of June, this particular asset is going to expire or lapse out. So if you are into trading of this particular asset I'm touching on my screen, I'm just using it as example. If you are trading this particular asset, then you should take your profits, or whether it is lost, before it expires, because if it expires, of course the market is going to close automatically for you. So that's the difference between quarterly and perpetual. So now let me now go back to all here. So in this all, you can select different kind of assets that you want. Let's assume that I want to trade on BTC USDT now. So I'll just click on BTC USDT, and as you can see, let me click on BTC USDT again. You can add it to your favorite if you want. You just click on the star beside it, then you click on it again. So this is telling me that I want to be trading on BTC USDT, and make sure that beside it you have the perpetual stuff. So let me now explain the next thing, which is this right here, isolated. They are isolated, and it is not only isolated that is present here, but if you select an asset for the first time, it is going to show this. It is going to show you cross. It is going to look like this. It will come like that by default. So when you now click on this cross, you must, or it is more preferable for you to change it to isolated. Let me now explain the difference between the isolated and the cross. This isolated now, if you enter into a trade, we are going to practicalize it. So guys, kindly watch this video till the end so you can understand it properly. This isolated right here, that I say that I like to select, and it's more preferable by all, maybe 70% traders. This isolated, if you enter into market with, let's say, particular amount of dollar, maybe $10, if you enter into trade with that particular amount of dollars, this isolated allows you that it is only that amount, whether you want to gain or lose, that will burn into that market that you've entered. That is, it will not cross into other asset that you have in your Binance account. Whereas if you select this second option, which is cross, if you are into trading and you've reached liquidity, this cross option, it allows that market to enter into the other wallet that is present in your Binance account. So it will use the balance that we have right here to hold the position, and if this balance right here is not enough to hold that position, it will go as far as going to your spot wallet and the rest just to hold the position for you, so you will not go liquidated. So that's the difference between cross and isolated margin. But let me select isolated. So I've selected isolated. The next thing beside it is this right here. We call it leverage. The current leverage here is 20x. What is the work of leverage? Leverage allows you to leverage your amount or the current fund that you have in your account. So the current leverage I'm having here is 20x, and it's more preferable for you not to use too much of leverage whenever you are trading. So, and this particular asset, which is BTC USDT, the highest leverage here is 125x. And if you use too much leverage, of course you're going to reach liquidity more sooner than if you are using a very low leverage. So even me, I prefer to use the highest of maybe 20x leverage. And if you're just a beginner, maybe you should be using 5 to 10x leverage for the main time. So now, when you've, let's say I want to use 25x leverage, I've selected 25, I'll just click on confirm. So next thing you should know is how to fund your futures wallet. For you to fund your futures wallet, you can do it in two places. The first place is that you click on this arrow right here in your futures wallet. You click on that arrow, then you transfer it from your spot wallet to your futures wallet. This is spot at the top and this is futures wallet at the bottom. This futures wallet is in two places. Let me click on it. We have the coin M futures and we also have the USDM futures. Whenever you want to trade futures, always use this USDM futures because this allows you to fund your futures wallet using USDT, and you can use USDT to trade, unlike this coin M futures that you will be using the coin. And we are going to make use of the USDM futures. So let me click on that. And I want to transfer some USDT from my spot wallet to my USDM futures. So the current balance we're having here is 4.54, right? So let's fund it with few dollars so you guys can see it. So let's say I want to transfer just $1 from my spot wallet. No, let me transfer $3 from my spot wallet to my futures wallet. So I've already inputted $3, then I'll click on confirm transfer. As you can see, the balance has increased to 7.54 USDT. So that's the first way how you can fund your futures wallet. The next or the second option is that come here to wallet. When you click on wallet, you click on transfer right here. So when you click on transfer, as you can see, it is showing me this second option that I can use to fund my wallet. Always make sure that the wallet you want to fund it from is at the top. It can be spot, it can be anything. So I'm funding it from spot wallet to USDM futures, USDM futures. So assuming I want to transfer everything from my spot wallet, I'll only click on max. Then after clicking on max, I'll click on confirm transfer. So transfer is successful now. I'll just click on OK. So let me go back to my futures wallet. As you can see, my balance has increased to $9.98, approximately $10 or 10 USDT. So now, in this Binance futures, before you place your trade, of course, you should know that you should know technical analysis. That's the first thing you should know. And how can you check the trend in trading of Binance futures? We have the option right here. This candle icon, that's where you're going to see the perpetual chart of this BTC USDT pair. When you click on it, it is going to load up the chart for you so you can do your analysis. We have the different indicators and instruments that you can use to analyze the market. So that's where you're going to see it. So let me now go back. This video is not for technical analysis, it's just to guide you how to trade futures. The next thing is the calculator icon, is beside the chart icon. When you click on the calculator icon, this allows you to calculate 5 different options. Let me let it load. Okay, the first one is the P&L, which is the profit and loss. Trading has to do with profit and loss, right? So it's either you gain or you lose. So let me explain how you're going to use this function. We are in calculator function in this futures trading, right? So how do you now use this calculator option? For you to use it, you can use it in two options: the long position and the short position. What's the difference between the long and short position? The long position allows you to procrastinate or say that the price of BTC is going to have an upward movement, while the sell position is saying you are saying that the price of BTC will fall. And if it comes in your favor, you are going to have a good amount of profit regardless, depending on the amount that you input. So let's assume that I want to go into long position. I'll select long. I want to calculate my profit and loss. When I select long, the next thing I should select is the amount of leverage I want to use. So this is the amount of leverage I want to use. Let me select just 20x leverage for tutorial purpose. So I've already selected 20x leverage. The next thing I should do is, after selecting my leverage, the next thing is the entry price. Let me go back. Let me check the current market price of BTC. The current price here is 71,353. Let me go back to calculator again. Let me use 20x. Let me say I want to enter the market. Let me select 71,000. This is the price I want to enter into the trade, right? I want to take long position. And the exit price is asking me that when do I want to exit the price or take my profit. Let's just say that I want to exit the price when Bitcoin reaches maybe $72,000. So, and this quantity right here is the amount that I'm willing to input into the market. So let me click on this BTC and change it to USDT, because USDT is what I'm using to trade with. When I click on USDT, it's going to change for me. Then let me input the quantity. The quantity right here, you have to calculate it in terms of your leverage. Yes, I'm using 20x leverage. Let's say I want to enter into this trade using just $1. Yes, I want to use $1 as an example. Let's say I want to enter this trade using just $1. That $1 is not something I will write here. No, I will not input that $1 here. I will have to input $20. The reason why I'm inputting $20 here is that I'm using 20x leverage, and this 20x leverage is allowing me to borrow more than the one I'm having in my wallet, which is, regardless of leverage you are using, if you are using 30x leverage, you will multiply it by the amount you are willing to take down to the trade. So now I want to use just $1, then you multiply 20x leverage by $1, which is 20. So you are going to input 20 USDT here. So after inputting that, you just click on calculate. So this is not actually showing me anything. That amount is too small. Let's say I want to go to the market using 200 USDT. Then I'll click on calculate. So it has given me the result now. So this right here is the initial margin. This initial margin means that the initial margin is 7.10 USDT. This is the real money from me that I want to input. You can see that I input to 200 USDT. This 7.10 USDT is the total amount from me, my personal money I inputted. And this P&L is the profit I'm going to make if the price of Bitcoin can reach up to this certain level. So, and this ROE is the return on investment I'm going to get, which is 28.17%. So that's how you calculate your profit. And you can also calculate it for when you want to take short position also. This is just the opposite of a long position. Let me do it also. Let me click on short. You want to take short position now, it has to be different. So let me use 71,000 as my entry price. So let me now delete this and change it to if Bitcoin can fall to 60,000 USDT, and I'm using the same amount also. I'll just click on calculate. So this is my initial margin as usual, 7.10 USDT, and I'll be making P&L profit of 22 USDT with ROE of 309% with this amount I'm using to trade with. So that's how you calculate your profit and loss using the long position and short position. The next thing I will explain to you in this Binance in this features calculator is the target price. Let me click on target price. What is the usage of this target price? Well, when you want to use this target price, you are going to just use it to calculate when you have to take your profits or when it's needed for you to take your profits. And you can also do it in two places, by taking the long position or the short position. So how do you now know when it is needed for you to take your profits from the particular market you are trading? And for this tutorial, we are trading BTC USDT now. So the entry price here is that the price I want to enter into Bitcoin, right? You see that I'm in long position and I'm using 20x leverage. This is entry price. If I click on that entry price now, let's say I want to enter when Bitcoin is $70,000, and this ROE is that, let's say I want to earn maybe 25% increment. If Bitcoin has risen up to 25%, let me now click on calculate. So you can see the target price. This target price is telling me that if I want to earn 25% on my investment, if Bitcoin have risen from 70,000 USDT to 70,875 USDT, I've already reached my goal that I should take my profits. So that's how you are going to use the target price. I hope you guys understand. In case if there's any question, kindly let me know under the comment section. So the next thing is the liquidation price. This liquidation price is just used to calculate when you're going to get liquidated in the particular market you are trading on. So how do you now calculate when you're going to get liquidated? How do you now calculate when you're going to get liquidated in that particular market you want to be trading? The first thing is that you should select whether you want to go to long position or short position, and let me click on long position. Don't worry guys, I'm going to select for short position also, so it won't be like as if I'm just using the long position. Let me go back to the calculator. So I'm in long position already with 20x leverage. So this is the entry price. The entry price is asking me when do I want to enter into that market. Let me say when Bitcoin is $70,000, and the quantity right here is the amount I want to use to enter the trade. Let me use $200. This $200 is actually not my own, not fully my own, because I'm using leverage, which is 20x leverage. So I've already inputted that. This is the balance I'm having in my features wallet. Let me now click on calculate. So I've already clicked on calculate. This is the liquidation price. This is telling me that if the price of Bitcoin can fall to 65,271.08 USDT, I'm going to lose all my money if I'm taking long position with this amount. So that's how you calculate your liquidation price in long position. Then how do you now calculate it for short position? It's just the opposite of long position. Let me click on long position. Let's say I want to use 300 USDT. I'm using different amounts in this time, so I'll just click on calculate. My balance is not reached. Let me just use 210 USDT. Let me click on calculate. Let me use my $200 back. As you can see, I'm already in long position now. You know, there's a difference between long and short position now. You guys know, right? So this is the entry price, 70,000 USDT, and this is the quantity I'm using to enter the trade. Let me go back. This is the amount I'm using to enter the trade, which is 200 USDT, right? So, and I've already clicked on calculate. This liquidation price is telling me that if the price of Bitcoin can ever rise from this entry price, which is $70,000, to 74,691, like that is if it's price of Bitcoin rose from $70,000 to $74,000. I'm going to lose all my money because I'm taking short position. So that's how you calculate your liquidation price for both long position and short position. The next thing you should know how to calculate in futures trading is the max open. Let me click on max open. The max open is just the maximum amount of money you can use to open a particular trade that you have interest in. So how do you now calculate for the max open? That is the maximum amount you can use from your wallet balance in the futures to trade. So the first thing is that you select whether you want to take the long position or the short position. Let me use short position in this instance. I'm going to use long position also. So when I click on entry price, now this is the price I want to enter into the market. Let's say when Bitcoin is $69,000, then I'll click on calculate. So this is the max open amount USDT. Sorry, let me go back here. This is the max open amount for me, which is 199.6 USDT. That is, this is calculating based on the amount the equivalence of the amount I'm having in my balance, because I'm having approximately $10 in my account. So using this 20x leverage, this is the maximum amount I can use to trade. That is, I can only enter a trade with a maximum amount of 200 USDT using this current balance I'm having and using this current leverage. If I just say I want to increase the leverage to maybe 44x leverage, let me click on calculate. If I'm using 44x leverage and price of BTC is $69,000, I'm just having $9.9 in my wallet. Using this leverage, I can only trade the maximum of 439 USDT using the power of the leverage. So that's how you calculate your max open for short position in futures trading. Let's calculate for long position. Let's say when price of BTC is 70,000 USDT. So I'll just click on calculate. So you can see, using this 44x leverage, this is the maximum amount I can use to trade using this current balance. But if I increase the balance here, like if I add more to my futures trading wallet, I'm going to have more amount of money to trade with. So that's how you calculate for max open in trading futures. The next one is the open price. Let me click on open price. This open price is just used for you if you want to take different positions, and you can use it to calculate for those positions, and you can calculate it for both long position and short position. So let me click on entry price for this one now. Let's say price of let me select long position first. It's just the opposite, 70,000 USDT, and I want to enter with 200 USDT. That's the first entry I want to use, and I want to add more position. Let me click on add position. So it has given me the option. Let's say 69,000 USDT, and I also want to use 200 USDT also. Okay, now let's say I just want to open two positions. You can use it to select up to 5 or different positions, but let me just use 2 for this tutorial. So let me now click on calculate. So this is average USDT price I can enter into that market. This is telling me that this is the average amount or the average value of BTC I can enter into trade when I'm in long position. You can also do it for short position also. Let me just click on calculate again. It is going to give me the same amount, but if I reduce this amount I want to use to trade, let me change this to 100 USDT. If I calculate it, the value will change to 69,330 USDT. So that's how you use the 5 function calculator options in futures trading. So let us go back to real deal. So for you to now enter into the real trading aspect of futures trading, which is what you guys may be wondering about since you've been watching this video. Now, when you see something here, this is the market option. You can use two options right here. When you click on this market option, when you change it to limit, this limit allows you to set the price of Bitcoin that you want to enter into the market. Let's say I want to enter the price of Bitcoin if the price of Bitcoin is 60,000 USDT, and below it amount is the amount I want to use to trade. And mind you, I'm using 20x leverage. Let's say I'm using 20x leverage. So let's say I want to use just $1 to trade. I will not input that $1 here. You guys don't forget that. I will input $25 because I'm using 25x leverage. 25x leverage multiplied by $1 from my personal money is 25. So you're going to input 25 USDT here. So the next thing for you is, do you want to take long position or you want to sell short or take short position? Let's say I want to take long position. Let me increase it to, this thing is telling me that amount is small. Let me increase it to 150 USDT. And as you can see, this is the cost. That is, the total cost here is that 4.8 USDT. This means that this is the amount they are going to charge me in my wallet if I want to enter $150 trade. So let's say I want to go into long position. I'll just click on buy long. So then you click on confirm. As you can see, I placed the order using limit option, right? You're supposed to see it here under current position, but you cannot find it. Where do you now find it? This is where you're going to see it. Open orders. The orders is still here, but it has not opened. The order will only open or trigger whenever the price of Bitcoin is around this area, which is $60,000. And if price of Bitcoin can fall to this amount, $60,000, then the market will trigger it and it will enter market and it will start trading for me. And you can open as much as possible trade under your open orders for you. You can open up to 5 or 10 depending on different of assets you want to be trading. And you can open for different coin. You can say you want to change this BTC to Notecoin USDT or ETH USDT. So that's how you use the limit option. The next thing I should tell you is how to use the market order option. And guys, I use this one for limit or buy, which is buy or long. So you can also use it for long position or sell position. It's just the opposite. The next thing I should tell you is the limit or the market order. Let's click on this limit. When you click on limit, this is the market option. When you click on market option, so this market option is just the opposite of limit order. This right here, if you place a trade now, it will enter directly in the current market price of Bitcoin. This is the current market price of Bitcoin. This that is dancing or showing, you see that is not stable. So that's the current price of Bitcoin now. Let's say I want to enter the market using 150 USDT. Don't forget I'm using 25x leverage, right? So this is the total cost. Let me reduce it to 125 USDT. No, let me use 135 USDT. I want to gain a reasonable amount. So this is 135 USDT I want to use to trade, and it will show me that this is the cost I'm going to incur, which is 2.88 USDT. So the next thing is that, do I want to take a long position or the short position? Let's say I want to go in long position. When you click on buy or long, or this order is less than 142. Let me jack it up. Let me jack it up to let me increase my leverage a bit to 45x. Let me just let me go for $150. Then I'll click on buy or long. Then I'll click on confirm. You can see that you cannot find it in open orders because you are using market order. This is where you're going to see it, the position order. So you can see that this is the current trade I just placed now, that I'm already having it running for me. So let me now explain it for you. This right here, margin into bracket USDT, which is 3.16 USDT. This is the real amount from me personally that I used to enter into $150 trade. The one right here is the size of USDT. This is the total amount of money I used to enter into that trade using the power of 44x leverage. Sorry, 45x leverage. You can see it here. Let me go back. Using 45x leverage. This one right here, unrealized P&L, is the profit or loss that I'm incurring currently as the market is moving upward or downward. And as you can see, I'm having minus 0.02 USDT. So this is the current loss I'm having. That is I'm having the loss of minus 0.02. It has changed to plus 0.01 again. So that's how you see your profit. This is where your profit is. And this one right here is the ROI, which is the return on investment for you. This is just the percentage increment on the amount that you input into that trade. And below it, we have the liquidation price. This liquidation price is telling you that as I'm taking buy position, as you can see, I'm already in buy or long position. This is how you see it. This is B. The B is green. So this is the liquidation price. I'm taking long position, right? This is telling me that if the price of Bitcoin could fall to 69,883.03 USDT, I'm going to lose all my money. That is, I'm going to lose all of this. But let's assume that's why I explained to you guys earlier about cross and isolated. Let's assume that I'm using cross here. The trade will not close for me like that. It will use the amount I'm having here to hold the position. And if the amount here is not enough, it will go to my spot wallet or my funding or the rest to hold the position for me. So that's the meaning of this liquidation price. And this right here, mark price, is the current market price of Bitcoin. And beside it is the entry price. This is the price I enter into the Bitcoin market. So as you can see, I'm incurring loss currently like this. That's because I did not do analysis before placing the trade. So you guys should just focus on my channel. I'm going to be dropping more videos regarding doing technical analysis to trade futures. Alright, the next thing I should tell you is the take profit or loss, which is here the TP or SL. When you click on take profit or stop loss, this allows you to set when you want to take your profits or when you want to stop the loss when you are incurring loss. You click on this position. When you click on that, you click on your take profits here. Let's say I want to take profits if the price of Bitcoin, if you forget when you enter, it is going to show you here the needed information for you to input your take profit or stop loss. Let's say I want to take my profit if the price of Bitcoin is 72. Should I use 72, guys? So now let me just use let's say I want to take my profit if the price of Bitcoin can rise up to $75,000. So I'll just input that $75,000 here. As you can see, we have one color here that is green. This is, oh sorry guys, let me go back. Let me input it again, 75,000 USDT. This right here is 7.6 USDT. This is saying that if I take the profit here, if price of Bitcoin is $75,000, then I'll be making the profit of just 7.62 USDT. And how do you now set the stop loss? You click on the stop loss option. When you click on it, let's say if I'm taking long position, you can see it here. The needed information will be given to you. I don't know why this thing keep going off. So this is stop loss. Let's say if the price of Bitcoin could fall to, I entered the market when price of Bitcoin was 71,185. You can see it here. Let's say I want to exit the market if the price of Bitcoin could fall to $71,000. So below it, you are going to see the amount I'm going to lose. This is the stop loss. I said that is I'm going to lose 0.37 USDT in my amount if I set the stop loss here. And if the price of Bitcoin can rise to $75,000, I'm going to gain this amount. So the next thing for me to execute this is that I'll click on confirm. So I'll click on confirm again. As you can see, my take profit and stop loss is already there. You can see that we did not have this option here before. So that's how you use your take profit or stop loss. The next thing is also the leverage. You selected leverage before we enter the trade, right? You can even increase the leverage here. When you click on the leverage, you can decide to increase upward or decrease it backward here again. When you do that, you just click on confirm. But this leverage I'm using is not supported because I'm using isolated in the open margin, and that amount in my features wallet is small, but you can adjust your leverage in orders that you have already opened. So let's say that you want to close this trade right here, that you don't want to do it again, you are afraid. You just click on close. So this is the estimated profit or loss I'm having right here. I'm having loss in this trade. You just click on confirm. Let's click on confirm. So we don't have anything in position anymore, so you don't have anything there again. You just check your balance. This is my balance right here. So that's how you take the buy or long position in trading futures. Let me do the opposite, which is the sell or short. In market order, you already know the difference between this market order and limit order, right? So let's say I want to use the market order. Let me click on the amount I want to use to trade. Let's say I want to use 143 USDT and I want to take a short position. I'm using 45x leverage. Let me click on sell or short. So when you click on sell or short, I'll click on confirm. You can see my order is already open for me and I'm making a little profit as I just open the trade. You can see that we have the S option here, which is red button. This is telling me that I'm selling or taking short position. The thing that we did for long position, you can also do it for the short position right here. You can set your stop loss or the take profit. When you click on this, you know that we are taking short position, right? When I click on position TP or SL, which is take profit or stop loss, let's say I want to take my profit if the price of Bitcoin could fall to let me say when I entered the trade. I entered the trade in 71,138. Let's say I want to exit the trade if the price of Bitcoin could fall to $69,000. So if I want to exit the trade or take my profits, I'm going to be making 4.27 USDT. That is my take profit option. Sorry guys. I selected 69,000 USDT. So for my stop loss now, I'm taking short position. That is, I'm saying that the price of BTC will fall, right? So how do you now select the stop loss? The stop loss must be higher. Yes, you are taking short position. Assuming you are taking long position, the stop loss should be lower. So the stop loss I want to select now, let's say I want to select the stop loss if the price of Bitcoin could rise above $72,000. So if why is this thing doing me this, guys? I'm sorry, 72,000. Let me input this again. So now if I say that the price of Bitcoin, if it can reach up this level, which is 72,000 USDT, I'm going to be losing 1.72 USDT from my available balance. I'll just click on confirm. Then I'll click on confirm again. So my take profit or stop loss is already there for me running. And you can also adjust the leverage. Also, when you click on it, you just select to the one that you want. As you can see, I'm already making current profit in this trading by taking short position in BTC USDT. As you can see, I've already made 0.41 USDT currently like this. And if you want to close the trade, you just click on close, then you confirm it right here. So let me also add something to this video for you guys. The current leverage that you are using, you see that I'm using 45x leverage. Another benefit of you using leverage, apart from adding more to your money, is that if the price of Bitcoin could rise to 1%, I'm going to be having 45% increment on the amount I used to enter into the trade. That's another benefit of using leverage. If I was using 20x leverage and price of Bitcoin move up by 1% or move down by move below 1% if I'm taking short position, or move up by 1% if I'm taking long or buy position, I'm going to be having, let's say 45x leverage, I'm going to having 45% increment in the amount I used to enter into the trade. So, and to this, we've come to the end of the lecture. So thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed this video or you gained something in this video, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. You're going to be enjoying more free benefits that you, instead of you to pay for outside there. And comment your thoughts under the comment section. If you subscribe already, kindly stay tuned. I'm going to upload more videos. And if you are new to my channel, kindly subscribe and click the bell icon. Also remember to like my videos. Thank you guys for watching, and remember, invest the amount that you can afford to lose. This video is only for educational purposes only, and it's not in any way as financial advice. Thank you guys for watching.